Hey INFPs, this is Amanda, and I'm back with another self-doubt video. So I've done a couple of these recently, and in the first couple of videos I did, I spoke to the idea of, or the ideas of really just letting a certain amount of self-doubt be there, and also not feeling like you have to get rid of it, right? So that's sort of like the very kind of like baseline for INFPs working with their self-doubt. But it kind of leaves the question of, well, what do you do when you start to want to move through it? Like, how do you get that process rolling? And I think you can kind of look at it this way, right? So doubting yourself causes you to pause, right? So it stops you, and then you start to ask these questions, right? Like, maybe it's something like, am I good enough to do this? Can I do this? Do I have the skill to do this? Is this the right thing for me to do right now? And on and on and on. I don't have to give you all the questions. You come up with those very easily and very well on your own. But again, so the thing is that doubt makes you pause. So the way that you start to get your energy moving and get yourself going through the doubt is really to begin to answer these questions. And the way that you answer them is to take any kind of an action towards them. And the really good news here is that you do not have to be picky and you do not have to be anywhere near perfect, right? So INFPs, like we overthink this, right? It's very easy for us to start worrying about what is exactly the right action we should be taking. And if I do this, will it be a mistake and all that kind of stuff. But when you're testing out your self-doubt questions, you're doing anything that answers that question, right? So like if it's like, can I really write this book? What you might do there is simply have a writing session, right? um, and there's no other goal but to sit down and write something, and to keep doing that on any kind of a consistent basis, even an inconsistent basis, right? Because eventually you come up with a draft and you can say to yourself, oh yeah, I actually I can write this book because I just did it, right? I now have a completed draft and it's done. And it was just a matter of getting yourself moving. Um, or it could be something like, am I really good enough, or am I really skilled enough to start this business? And the way that you start answering those questions is maybe you just, register the domain name for your website. And maybe you start organizing out what your services are going to be and what your pricing is going to be. And you just start, right? Maybe you end up putting out some content into the world, and you start getting like people start to comment on it and they're saying, hey, this is really helpful. Now you have like concrete specific feedback that's saying, yeah, I am good enough, or yes, this will be helpful to people. And so the idea here is really it's not to try to, like, I think what we have a tendency to do is to sort of be spinning these questions around and around in our mind. So we pause in the doubt, and then we get stuck when we make it too mental. When we take it into action, it gets our energy moving, and we can actually rely upon our experiences to inform our doubting questions, right? You're using your actual experience to inform what you think about yourself and what it is that you're doing. All right, so that's it for this video. I will be back with at least one more on self-doubt, so keep an eye out for that. Thanks for watching, guys.